Teakeycee might have a fat chance of getting me killed, man. I'm in here fully getting. Oh, I'm saying this guy's not paying attention. I'm in here fully kitted and heavy armor, 4 epic mods. Hello, folks. Today we are joined by a very talented and prolific Empyrion community contributor, one of several POI generators that are poised to answer the question, if we have a workshop full of beautiful builds, where exactly are we going with them? Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Teakeycee.
Aloha, LyfeForce. Aloha, everyone. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Hello there. Okay, so how did you get into Empyrion?
So, a friend of mine was trying out this game on Steam, and I asked about it. He said, try it out, and the rest is history. Another friend of mine asked me why I keep coming back to this game, and best answer I had was that it scratches an itch. There is a creative aspect, which takes me back to playing with Lego when I was a kid, like block work and putting things together. And I've been playing video games in one form or another since I was 4 or 5, so a long time now. I enjoy the first person shooter aspect and the survival aspect when you first start out. I enjoy flying ships and exploring the galaxy and all of the new content that keeps coming out. I really enjoy all the aspects of this game.
Now, did you start right away into creative, or did you played survival first, you mentioned?
Oh, yes, survival first, just a standard new player. What is this game? How do I do this? I have no clue what I'm doing, that kind of thing. Yeah. Then I transitioned over to creative to figure out, okay, how do I build ships? How do I build better ships? And then I, like everybody else, I started with cubes, and I've gone from there.
Yeah. So, why POI generation?
So I was a player for a long time, and I got to the point where I was hitting these POIs so much that I was memorizing them, and I was like, I really want some fresh content. I want some new POIs. And then I asked myself, how do you make a POI? So I look around like Spange's video and Scarly's forum posts, and I just started looking around to figure out, okay, how do I do this? And then just through trial and error, figure out how to make a POI, how to test it, how to create a test scenario, and how to submit to Elion. So that's kind of how it went. Just trial and error, just figuring things out.
Now, so it sounds like a lot of it was self-learned. You
Yes.
mentioned that you possibly worked with some other POI generators.
Yes. Yes. So shout outs to there's so many people to recognize. I mean, Scarly and Matt, they taught me a lot about how to convert existing blueprints and submit them to Elion so that they would be accepted. Don 2K, let's see, Stellar Titan, Akiva, Alicia Salustagor. There's so many people that have helped me out along the way and taught me what to do. So there's such a long list, and if I miss someone, I apologize. There's so many people to thank, so many people videos I've watched, and I really appreciate the willingness of people to teach people. So yeah.
So, I guess it kind of begs the question, when you were growing up, were you ever like a DM or a GM of like pen and paper games like Dungeons and Dragons or something like that?
Yes, I'm glad you mentioned that because one of my first POI that I made it because and I was thinking about when I was a dungeon master, when I was a game master for Dungeons and Dragons for Shadowrun, and I play with my friends and we'd create these stories, and it was a lot of fun running through those dungeons, and I kind of applied that same concept or mindset when I'm designing a POI. What's the story? Let's make this an adventure, make it fun. Where's the risk? Where's the reward? That kind of strategy. So to answer your question, yes.
Uh, so so that's one of the bigger stumbling blocks for creating a faction. Have you had any thoughts on making your own faction that you would contribute to Empyrion?
I've thought about that, and I've got some ideas written down, but at the moment, I am so busy converting and creating POIs and helping to create content that it's sort of on the back burner in the back of my mind. So yeah, to answer your question, yeah, I got some ideas, and I'd like to do that someday, but I want to try to develop content for the game and add more variety to the game for all the players. That's my priority right now.
Yeah. So when you're doing POI generation, is it, when I think about it, I think like maybe there's kind of like an arms race aspect to it. Like you're trying to think about what that player might do to exploit, or, I mean, is there some thrill of excitement from that? Like it's kind of like a PvP aspect to it in regards, if you think about it.
Yes, yes, well said. So when you're designing a POI, you don't necessarily want a player to cheese and dig under it or blow a hole. And once they run a POI, they know where the core is. What do you do? So I just try to make POI and make it a fun adventure for the first time, just knowing that subsequent times people are going to get bored with it, just like I did, and just cut to the chase, if you will, and get the valuable components out of there. I mean, I played around with admin cores, but I do not like using admin cores in my POIs because I want people to be free to do whatever they want with the POI. I haven't designed with admin cores yet. I'm open to that if the story requires it, but I want to avoid that usage of the admin core POI. There's some strong feelings, one way or another, regards to admin cores.
Yeah. So what part of POI building most annoys you?
Most annoys me.
Yeah. Or
I wouldn't.
or perhaps
I,
what's the most time consuming aspect of it?
oh yeah. Well, the Q&A process testing. I like to thoroughly test my POIs over and over again to make sure do the spawners work. I want to make sure that like the spawners don't spawn behind your back, and I try to set the zones correctly. I try to make sure the signaling all works and that it's oxygen tight, and then there's another challenge of making sure there's enough spawns to challenge the player, but not too many spawns to cause lag on a server. So there's a balancing act that I got to kind of struggle with to try to make it fun and not too easy, not too hard, and not too much treasure in there. So that balancing act, I think, is the hardest part for me.
Yeah, and that's also the experience is gonna vary as far as per player. So
Yes.
it's one person might see it as too challenging, another maybe too easy. So it's definitely got to be a hard balance to try and strike.
It is, and myself as a player, I like difficult POIs. I like being really challenged on that. So I may design POIs a little too difficult. So I'm sure people will post and say, "Oh my God, that was terrible. It needs to be throttled back." So I'm prepared for that. I try my best to make the the POI design as fun as possible, and the OPVs as well.
Yeah. Um, it's also contrary to that. What do you find easiest or perhaps most enjoyable about the process?
Oh, the easiest part of the process is putting spawners, sentries, loot, traps in after the design, after the framing is done, after all the deco is in, after all the painting is done and any damaged blocks are set up. After I after I get the frame done, then filling it out with that quote unquote adventure is the easiest part for me because I've done it so many times. So I know that okay, if I go to a room, I want a sentry in this spot pointing down at this angle. I want spawners behind this box so that they spawn and the player doesn't see them. Yeah, stuff like that. I find that is the easiest part.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see here. Let's take a tour of what we got so far. So if I'm looking east here, just go over what we're looking at.
Okay, so let's start with this vandalized station here. This is basically a copy of the starter base that we just left. And I made all 50 of these bases behind me for Project Eden, specifically for the Dread planet, because I love that starter so much. That was my favorite starter. Props to Raven. So I loved playing that so much, and I've memorized all the POIs, and I asked myself, I want to keep playing the Dread start, but I want new POIs. So these 50 POIs are what I created and sent to Ravian for the Dread Planet, and he's free to use them or not use them. And they also can work in vanilla as like destroyed or junk bases. So this one right here, the Vandalized Station, what I really enjoyed is just spawning a copy of that base and then applying damage overall with different weapons, and either handheld or with an SV, and then using these destroy blocks. I love the destroyed block palette is very limited. It's not the same. You don't have the same amount of options that you have with the normal block, if you will. So you got to be creative when you use these destroyed blocks to try and make it look good, if you will. And that is a challenge for me. But I enjoy that creative aspect of using different combinations of destroyed blocks to give it the impression, like this one, maybe a bomb dropped through and blew the roof away and then shattered all this glass. And then you'll see a dirt and debris or truss blocks if say vandals came and stole things. So that creative aspect of working with destroy blocks and damaging the building and giving it that look like it's been abandoned for a long time and just vandalized and looted is a lot of fun to me.
Yeah.
So
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I applied that same concept to all 50 of these POIs here. So then I did YouTube videos for all of these, so you can find them on my channel. Hint, hint.
Oh yeah, there would be a link in the description as well for anybody interested in checking that out.
So yeah, for each one of these POIs, I take a look at it and think to myself, okay, I'm attacking it from a certain angle. Like this way, maybe some bombs were dropped and created this crater here, and blew in the roof and the garage, and created this debris. And then I'd go through and say, okay, maybe there was a railgun attack that shot through this wall here. I'm trying to make it good with the destroy blocks. So for every one of these POIs, I tried to apply that same concept of it was attacked. There were pirates or scavengers that took stuff out of here, and it's been abandoned for a long time. So same sort of concept. Just want to give it that look, if you will, of being damaged and abandoned, so that when the player runs into it on, for example, the Dread Planet, they can come in here and they can look for loot or salvage to try to put a vehicle together and get off the planet.
Yeah, so going back to the damage state blocks, I actually tried my hand at I was trying to generate like a Rebel Alliance asteroid base, and that was my first time working with the damage state blocks. And oh my goodness, man, I was lost. And like, so Matt showed up. He was in chat. You know, he was just running away about like how much of a legend you were with the damage state blocks. Like, it's like a new concept, man. It was like learning Empyrion all over again, because like changing like the levels of the blocks would turn it into a new model and stuff, man.
Yes, and when you place down the damage blocks, you can destroy them a bit to get a different shape as well.
Right. So I was like, I threw in the towel, man. I didn't want to learn building all over again.
I know you can do it. Give it a try.
Yeah, oh yeah, of course. You know, it's just I got so many things going on, and also I like my ships clean and freshly printed looking.
So you and I'm just gonna throw down this bomb right now. You and I should do a collab stream and convert one of your builds to a POI or an OPV and submit it to Elion, and maybe do a damage version as well. That'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, man. You know, so one of my aspirations is to obviously get like Phoenix Star Works in the game as a actual faction. So at some point, there's going to have to be some POI generation, and that offer is there if you're interested. If you want to do a collab,
I'm ready and willing anytime.
Nice. Sweet. All right, let's.
So yeah. Anyways, these 50 builds are from people on the workshop. I just searched the workshop and I was looking around for stuff that would maybe fit in with the theme. So I stay away from like Xerax or anything exotic, and I just picked things that would fit into the Dread Planet. I downloaded them, requested permissions, and got them converted, and sent them to Revian. So that's the story with these 50.
So yeah, okay. Yeah, so that's pretty crazy, man. You like thinking like specific weapon attacks, like you like mentioned railgun specifically. So you're like getting into this.
Oh yeah. I'd spawn an SV, and then I'd load it up and shoot it at an angle, and then figure out, okay, where was the hole, and then based on that, it put destroy blocks around it to give it that impression of being shot from that angle. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so that's this cluster. What else do we have over here?
All right. Well, if we fly over to the ships over here, you're going to see a bunch of HVs, SVs, and CVs. So, in addition to Project Eden and Reforged Galaxy, love those scenarios. I also enjoyed Star Salvage. I don't know if you've played Star Salvage, but you find a whole bunch of junk vessels in the scenario, and it's a lot of fun to find these vessels and then fix them up and call them in your own, or just salvage them for scrap. So I was playing Star Salvage and I was thinking to myself the same thing. I want some more HVs, SVs, and CVs. So I started designing them, and I reached out to Know It All DM, the author of the scenario, and I said, "Hey, do you want some more hover vessels and junk vessels?" And he said, "Yes." So there you go. So a lot of these you will see in game. Again, it's up to Know It All DM if he adds it or not. So yeah, that's the story, and it's the same sort of concept that I use for the bases over there. In addition to the vehicles, is I would apply overall damage, and like with Rakuna's junk hover vessel here, I would like blow a hole in the side and take out the generators, and then I'd remove maybe the hover engines, and maybe half of the vehicle I would keep intact, so when the player finds it, they can rebuild the vehicle if they want, based on one side, if you will. Where's a good example of
Oh,
that?
I see. Yeah, that's pretty slick. That's
So there was one where I cut the wing off. This one here. The small vessel. So I sliced the entire wing off and then put those damage blocks on there to give it the impression of just being under some intense combat and getting one side just destroyed. But I kept the other side intact, so the player, when they find this, they can say, "Oh, okay, this is how I rebuild it based on that side."
yeah, that's pretty slick. That's pretty considerate.
I say, well, yeah. I say, well,
Mm.
again, I'm a player, so when I see these things, I want to be able to, if I want to, rebuild it to get it all the way up to 100% based on what I see. So I'm just thinking ahead again, just trying to be considerate for the players, like you mentioned.
Very
So
nice.
yeah, making all these was a lot of fun, and then it's also fun, when they're added to the game, and then the players on the Steam Workshop all message them and say, "Hey, such and such was added to the game," and then they get excited and they say thank you. So that makes me feel good that I'm contributing to the overall experience for all the players, making things better.
Yeah, and it's kind of like how I hinted with the intro that we have a workshop full of builds, and I guess it's kind of irrelevant if we don't have anywhere of interest to travel to, So it's just building CVs and SVs. That's only so good and well unless you have somewhere that's memorable. That sector command or
Yes.
or gas refinery or whatever, right? So and
Yes, and yeah, it's shout out to all the builders on the Steam Workshop for posting your builds out there. There are so many builds on there. Oh my God. It actually took me time just to find some to convert and ask for permission, and oh my God, so many good builders out there.
so what is your count up to now?
I'm so sorry, say that again.
What is your count up to? Your conversion count?
Oh, yes. As of today, I've converted 166 your blueprints, bases, your hover vessels, small vessels, CVs. And then I have like 40-ish personal builds. So I've converted 4 times as many builds that I've made, if you will.
So these CVs over here, this would be for general gameplay, or is this also start? What is this Star Salvage? No, I guess it
Yeah,
would.
I converted these for Star Salvage, but
Okay.
these can be used as junk vessels in vanilla or any other scenario. Because I'm using basic blocks in here. I'm not using any exotic parts in these builds. And again, I'm trying to make them as universal as possible when I do the conversion, so they can be used in vanilla or any scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the same concept: damage, and try to keep some symmetry intact for the player to rebuild it. And yeah, it's a lot of fun to find these in game. You see something new, and it's fun to design them and make these destroyed holes in the hull, and just give it a sort of story. Like, okay, I wonder what happened to this CV. Why was it attacked? Why was it abandoned here? There's a story for each one.
So I have to imagine that a good portion of the new POIs that are coming to future patch for Empyrion, you had a big contribution from that.
Yes, I submitted so many conversions to the workshop that I got feedback from people saying, "Hey, you're spamming the forum." So I'm like, "Sorry." I mean, I'm trying to, make as much content as I can. So going forward, I will batch my conversion posts and try not to spam the forum. Now, it's mostly in humor and jest. But yeah, so there's a lot of POIs and OPVs coming in vanilla that have been approved and have just been yet to be added on the forums.
Nice. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. Like I've always said, the POI generators are sort of the unsung heroes of Empyrion. Maybe they don't get the clout of some of the flashy or CV generators and stuff. But and without that aspect of the community, all we are essentially is just space engineers, right?
Yeah, and thank you for saying that. The other converters and builders that are watching the video today would appreciate that as well, I'm sure.
Yeah. But I know what it is. I know the value of you guys, so I definitely give shout outs where I can.
Love
Um,
that.
yeah, so this is the POI generation aspect of your contribution. So you have some conventional builds, right? SV,
Yes,
CV.
I do.
All right.
Let's go to outer space. All right. If you look on the map, you'll see a bunch of icons in the ring. If you want to fly over there,
Okay, in the ring.
or sorry, right above the ring.
Okay.
And it might take a second for stuff to spawn. Then we'll talk about these up here. I'll start at the left side. Left side.
Okay, headed to the left. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, more lag, more stuff.
Yeah, it's fine. Now the culling has actually helped quite a bit, right?
Mm,
I've
yeah,
noticed it.
agreed. All right, so I am flying in front of all of these CVs on the left.
Okay, I've arrived. I'm looking at a Eris.
Okay, so yes, so these guys are all OPVs. Most of them have been added to the Warlord faction in the game. If not on this version, then on the next version coming up. So again, I reached out to people on the Steam Workshop, said, "Hey, can I convert your ship and make it an orbital patrol vessel?" And most of the people said yes. Some people didn't respond. One person said no, who will remain nameless, and that's fine. So I would take the CV and I would spawn it, and then I would add, like for example, in the Eris here, I would add a bunch of these turrets that are not player turrets, if you will.
Yeah.
And I would sometimes I would apply damage to the ship to give it this battle hardened look, like it's seen combat, and other times I would just leave the blocks intact and not damage them. It was kind of a dice roll on whether or not I damaged the blocks. Otherwise, you'll see all these alien turrets on the outside, and if you go inside, you'll see spawners like in the hangar bay here. I added this Xerax sniper that's going to spawn 3. You'll see a bunch of these spawners in this OPV, so that when the player comes here, when they fly into this hangar bay, they're gonna get some resistance. Then they'll have to fight their way through here with more spawners, and there's probably some hidden sentries that'll pop out in the wall somewhere. Spoilers. And then eventually they'll have to make their way to the core and blow up the core. And here's a loot container right next to the core. So every OPV has additional spawners, sentries, loot containers, traps, and maybe some surprises in each one.
Now, so when you're doing the conversions, are there instances where you like I don't know, maybe say have to do like a complete gutting of the levels just to get something that would be a POI worthy, perhaps?
I try to keep the CVs intact as much as possible. I try not to modify the original author's build too much. As far as gutting the CV goes, I do very minimal gutting, quote unquote. Can't really think of a time where I removed a large section of a ship and I'm flying around looking around. I'm like, no, I didn't remove any large sections on this one. No, this one's intact. So to answer your question, no, I haven't really gutted a ship out. I've just done minor modifications to add those spawners, sentries, traps, loot in there. So yeah, I try to respect the original author there.
Yeah. Um, so I guess one would think that, like, maybe some of the builds don't really lend well to being a POI. So I guess maybe I was wondering if is there like some sort of a curating process where you look at something like, maybe it looks okay, like it could work, but then you look at the interior and you're like, this can't work. I have to do something else.
So once we'll get to some of my earlier builds in a bit. Where when I first started, I'd start with creating cubes, flying cubes for CVs, like most people do. So I kind of pass on those on the workshop. And then I also have a size class range, not too small, not too huge, because there's restrictions on what Elion will accept.
And
So
that's
I've got some guidelines that I got to work by.
that's what, like, size class 21 or thereabouts.
Yeah, I try to keep it under that, at least for servers, so they don't crash servers, if you will. So yeah, there's a range. I just I don't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, again, a lot of great builds on the workshop. It's so many awesome, talented authors out there, and thank you to everyone who allowed me to convert these, and I appreciate your trust in the process, and thank you to Elion for considering all these builds and adding them to the game.
Yeah, that's sort of be like a badge of honor for me. I think, if I'm just, randomly running around doing a new season start, then I would see something of my creation up there and it's facing me. I think my socks would be blown off, man.
Raccoon had mentioned that he ran into the Medusa on one of his playthroughs, and he built it, and it was so great to hear that people are running into their own ships. That makes me smile.
Yeah, that would be
And
great.
speaking of the Athlon and the company cruiser here, I think these are Moobear creations. They may have been in the last video. I'm not sure. Company cruiser is from Moobear.
Yeah, definitely company cruiser. Let's see where if I can find you.
So
Okay, I think I get you.
Kind of in the upper right. I'm not sure if they were in your last video with Moobear, but hey, here's the OPV versions.
Yeah, the Athlon.
I love the shaping on the Athlon. It's amazing. Great work, Moobear.
Oh yeah, he's definitely got some good block work. Very impressed. I like he has some great device setting. Like that's a skill in its own. Like, throwing down warp drives and shield generators and stuff like that. That's one thing, but it's just like an art form that you could put in a nice setting to where it just looks fantastic, right? So
It's amazing, and honestly, my block work is not at this level. Yes, in your level, I'm somewhere in between beginner and master, and this is just amazing to me. So one of the things I wanted to mention about this build is it was difficult to convert to an OPV because of the limited amount of space. You had mentioned something similar earlier. So this one I had to it was a challenge to attach things and convert the inside because there are very few internal blocks to work with. Like, for example, I have to add a bunch of small generators scattered around the ship so that the player just doesn't take out one generator and take it down. I want to make it a little bit difficult for the player by adding all these small generators. So I had to find spots, cubby holes, to sort of put all these extra small generators in that weren't in the original build, so that when your turrets are targeting generators, it takes longer to take the ship out than it would if it was just having the one generator, if you will. You know what I mean?
yeah, right, exactly. It's not just one weak point. There's a buffer zone, if you will.
Yep. Again, I want to try to make it a challenge for the players when they run into this in Warlord space.
Right.
So
Yeah.
one more comment about the CVs up here, the Amadeus, which is right by the Athlon. I'm flying by it here.
Yeah.
So we're going to get to some of my LyfeForce Galaxy 2 creative builds that are work in progress. And I saw this build this is by Kimberly. And this one, it has these blast doors on a signal so that when you flip the signal, these blast doors cover the windows, like on the bridge and by the sides. I love that feature of flipping a switch and having these blast doors come down outside the windows. So when I was building mine, I'm like, I want that same feature. So again, there's so many great ideas out there. For the people that are watching, don't feel bad or ashamed when you see when you're inspired by someone else's build and you see something. I'm like, I want to do that. But definitely give credit to the original author when you're wholesale borrowing ideas, if you will.
Oh yeah. I mean, I would say for sure, like, a lot of the things that I know, the things I've put into practice is has largely come from other builders.
Mhm.
A lot of big inspirations from all of them. Spange, Xcal, Jay, Crazy Z, Kiev. Just like there was a lot of time when I was on the bench, before I committed to building, just like watching Anvil community content and watching that whole range of builders build stuff, and just like
Yes.
having my jaw drop to the floor.
Yes, and shout out to the builders of the past that are no longer actively playing the game, like Kiev and Siege and Jennifer. And there's so many amazing builders out there with their creations on the workshop, and they don't necessarily play much nowadays, but their work is still amazing,
Yeah,
timeless.
man. It's things like this that gets me excited to think about contributing to POIs, like the generating the faction and like building a ship around the concept of it being something that people would face. It's one thing to put something in the workshop and people get to fly that, but then also, like I was referring to earlier, like maybe I want to flip the script and get into the mind of that PvP aspect of POI generation.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree. Give POI creation a try, both for you and for everybody who's watching.
Oh
You
yeah.
never know. You like it.
Yeah.
All right, do you want to move on to the next section?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so the next section to the right is a bunch of bases. Again, these are bases that I found in the workshop. Some of them you may recognize from our popular or famous authors. And I'd ask them, hey, can I convert this to a warlord base? And they would say, yeah. So some of these you may see some general damage, like on Noxo Station. I just flew around an SV and just did some random damage to it to give it that look like it's been in battle, and then attached turrets and sentries and spawners to this, and yeah, made it into a space POI. So this is my space POI section. Everything here has been submitted to Elion. Most, if not all, of these are in or will appear in the Warlord faction.
So now is this
Again.
are any of these like admin core, or is this just regular core, or what?
These are all regular core. I'm staying away from admin core for now because of the passion around admin cores. So these are all normal cores in one core, if you will. I haven't started designing POIs and OPVs with multiple cores yet on
Yeah.
my list.
Yeah, this is great.
Again, a lot of amazing builds, and for each one, I put on that game master Dungeons and Dragons hat. And said, I want to make an adventure. I want to balance risk and reward. I want to make it fun, and people can enjoy running through these. They all have a gravity generator, unless you blow it out. And then once you run through it once and go through that adventure, and then I'm sure people will just say, "Oh, the core is right here," and just drill towards it. I get it. Yep, but enjoy it if you want to run it the traditional way.
So so does Elion have like a standard with like the challenge difficulty range, or you like maybe somebody would submit something to them, you're like, okay, maybe this is too much, and kind of push back, and like
So there's two guidelines that I go by: the Elion requirements when you submit a base, and then Vermilion's POI guidance. Vermilion posted guidance on how to design POIs in it was one of the discords. I forget which discord, Anvil or Spange, or maybe the main Empyrion discord. I forget. But anyways, there are two sets of rules that I abide by: the Elion requirements for submitting a POI, and Vermilion's guidance on designing POIs. Like for example, Vermilion will say try to stay away from CPU extenders. So Everything I build from now on won't have CPU extenders because they're considered like a loot container, and I'll just use loot containers instead. And then he has guidance on number of turrets and other things like that. So I abide by both of those sets of rules to try to make things as universal as possible, so they can be used in vanilla or any scenario, and so they're fun and they're balanced.
I hear that one of the tenets is, I'm not sure if it's with Vermilion or not, but you don't want the stuff to spawn in front of you.
Yes, yes, and that can be challenging because every spawner you see has certain dimensions where it will trigger the spawns, and it's tricky to try to place the spawner in the right orientation and then adjust the dimensions so that it spawns when the player is in the zone. And it takes a couple seconds for spawns to occur, so it's tough to design POIs so that enemies will always spawn when the player's in range and not spawn right in front of their face. So there's some technical challenges behind that, but I try to design these POIs so that the sensor ranges trigger whatever angle the player comes in at, if that makes sense. I try to mitigate that as much as possible, but it's a reality. Honestly, if people approach a POI like from underneath and the spawner is on the ground level pointing up, then it's not going to spawn until the player goes above the spawner, if that makes sense. Yeah, it's tough. That's a tough one to get around.
So it's quite a few POI generations that you've done. Do you find there's like one particular builder or build style that seems favorable to POI conversion, or is it
For
just
conversions, no. I'm at the point where if you give me a cube, I'm going to convert that to a POI. Let's consider that a challenge. But honestly, I'm going to repeat myself. There's so many awesome builders out there. I don't really have a specific preference or a style preference. Honestly, I will convert anything. Probably,
uh,
probably I'm asking for it by saying that.
okay, yeah. And so I didn't know if it was like so if I'm thinking of particular builder styles. So for example, like with last week with Moo Bear, one of his things is he likes to build like these cathedral open area places. So
Yeah.
I was wondering if maybe something like that would be more favorable to the POI generation or not.
Honestly, I don't have a preference either way. I mean, I will convert any POI, open or not, and regardless of style. I embrace the variety of the builds and designs that are out there, so I'm open to anything.
Okay, challenge accepted.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Oh, you want to move on to the next section?
Yeah, okay, so where are we?
Did you have any other questions on?
No, not for this area.
Okay, cool. So the next section, you're going to see a construction set, the Rados construction set. So I'm currently going through all of the construction sets on the workshop. I've done Zenu and Geist, and now I'm on Rados. These are from Vermilion, the three that I mentioned, and there's also a bunch of construction sets by Don2K. So this is new for me, using construction sets and building things from scratch, because as you've seen, I've done 166 conversions, and now I'm shifting. I'm reducing the amount of conversions that I'm doing and increasing the amount of POIs I'm making from scratch. And if I'm making a POI from scratch, I want to learn all these construction sets, and I want to make POIs for every faction. So it's killing two birds with one stone, if you will, by using a construction set, learning about how to use the construction set, and then posting a YouTube video on there saying how I did it for everybody else who wants to learn. And then also getting to learn the style for every faction. So you'll see two POIs that I'm making here. I was making one POI per construction set, but this evolved into two POIs because I wanted to make Rados. They do logistics. So I was thinking, okay, I want to do some sort of logistics hub, like a UPS or a FedEx hub. So I was thinking a spire attached to like a warehouse facility. So I made the spire, and then I was trying to attach it to this warehouse facility. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. So I'm like, fine, forget it. I'm just going to make two POIs. I'm going to make a spire and a logistics hub. So that's why you see two POIs in front of you today. This is basically for the spire. What I did is I just ran over to the construction set, copied a piece, came over here, pasted, and just repeated that process over and over again, just putting pieces together again, like the Lego sets that I made when I was a kid, or that so many of us enjoyed. and just sort of having that creator's hat on, thinking, here's my general idea of a design. I want a spire, and then putting things together to sort of figure out, okay, how is this going to look? And there's originally when I first started doing this, I would have to go over to the construction set, hit N, and then adjust that area manually, and then copy it and come over here and paste it. But since then, Elion has implemented a new feature where you can just go over to the construction set, look at it, hit Control A, and it automatically highlights the entire piece. So it saves a lot of time. Thank you, Elion, for implementing that feature for making POIs.
Yeah, it definitely looks super useful for POI generation. Absolutely.
Yes. Yes. So
they've been knocking it out with a couple key features over the past couple patches. The copy and paste of blocks and textures. That saves so much time for building. Oh my goodness.
Agreed. Yes, thank you, Elion, for doing that. It's hopefully it enables more people to do more builds, and then in turn we get more variety in the game. That's one of my goals is just add more variety. So the spire here, it's framed in. What I have to do next is I have to go through and I have to add all those spawners and sentries, and then I'll have to spawn it in a test game and do quality assurance. That's always one of the most entertaining parts of doing my videos is doing the testing on the quality assurance server, which you're on right now. It's a lot of fun just running through it and recording that and just seeing how many times I get killed. And then I'll go back and say, okay, maybe I need more enemies. Maybe I need to adjust this or that. So that part is a lot of fun too.
Now, do you work with somebody like, say for example, you running your own POIs, you know where all the traps and spawns and stuff like it. Do you occasionally hand it over to somebody and say, hey, can you give this a run? Or
okay, so this is a difficult question to answer because I am in a super secret club that I can't talk about.
Okay,
So
okay.
let me answer it this way. I have friends of mine who will join me for quality assurance when I make something publicly, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Stuff I can't talk about.
I like the lighting truss and with the spotlights going over the POI. It's something I haven't thought of, man. That would be cool. Like,
Thank you. I had to design something because I'm doing so much creative work and I needed good lighting for when I'm recording. So I just made this lighting truss, and maybe I'll put it in the workshop. I don't know. It's only really useful for builders and content creators, I think. Maybe. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I think that would be good for like some sort of POI where it's like a shipyard or something, and having that illumination on ship construction. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yep. And then down, you'll see the Zenu remote outpost and the Geist Operations Center, which I finished and submitted to Elion. I believe the Zenu remote outpost is in the game right now, and I think Geist Operations Center is just in the queue.
Very nice.
So it's a lot of fun to build these, and I'm really looking forward to all of the construction sets. Shout out to Vermilion and Don2K for making the construction sets. Thank you. And to everybody who's watching, give it a try. It's a lot of fun.
I can just hear the laments of people repeatedly dying.
I can hear the groaning and the sighs. I don't want to. Yeah, I get it.
So have you looked at some of Matt's POIs? Have you ever had a look at some of his things?
CZ, yes.
Yeah.
He's one of the people that trained me when I was a beginner so long ago. Yeah, he taught me how to do conversions. He's one of the people that taught me how to do conversions, and he showed me some amazing POIs. And one of his POIs is actually on my list of things to convert soon. The challenge is that he had gravity generators going in multiple directions, and that I have to wrap my head around how would I convert that to a POI. That would be a real challenge for me, but I'm looking forward to tackling that. But to answer your question, yes, he has some amazing builds, and there are some really complex builds that I'm not sure how to convert to a good POI today, but I'll figure it out.
I like the lighting in here. This looks great.
Where are you?
This is the Gist.
Yes.
Geist headquarters.
Yeah, I went in here and I initially thought it was too dark, but I read the Geist guidebook, and it basically says that they like low light conditions. So I was a little concerned that it's probably too dark, but if it's fine, then hey, I'll roll with it.
No, I think it's beautiful.
Okay, thank you.
I guess I'm more of well, I guess it's taster's choice. Some people might prefer a better
Yeah,
illuminated, but like with some of the darker settings, it brings out the light textures more, right?
good point.
It gives them an opportunity to work. So that's one of the magics of lighting.
Good point. Yeah, agreed.
Okay, so going back to what we were talking about earlier about some of the things that Elion have been adding recently, what features would you like to see added to Empyrion?
Oh boy, here we go. So I'm just gonna say it right now. More block shapes. I mean, I know everybody's saying that, and I'm saying it too. Please add more block shapes to the. There was the posting from, I forgot who did it. There was 2 YouTube videos where.
Captain Caveman.
Thank you. Yes, he goes through this video of all these block shapes, and I agree with all that. It would be so cool to have more block shapes, more textures, new models. It would be nice to see something besides raptors. And so I think the same kind of things that we can all agree on. Like honestly, the 2023 roadmap that they posted has a long list of things that people have been asking for. So again, props to Elion, and again, I'm just like the other players, and I want more options when I'm building things, if you will.
Yeah, that seemed to have touched base on some of that with the adding the block choices and new creatures and stuff. So I'm definitely excited to see how that's going to turn out.
Yeah, agreed.
So what are you working on now?
All right, let's go to the next section. So this is what I'm currently working on. When Reforged Galaxy 2 Creative Alpha came out, I excitedly, like a nerd, subscribed and started playing around in it. And I spun up the server so me and my friends would come on here and just start building stuff, playing around, and figure out, okay, how do we design for Reforged Galaxy 2? And this is going to be changes and updates to it because it's still an alpha, but it was just interesting to come in here and just play around with some of the different parts. So what I want to do is I want to design an entire new fleet for my next playthrough when Reforged Galaxy or Reforged Eden 2 come out, whenever. So I just started making 3 different tiers of CVs: a starter CV, a mid-range, and an end game. And I'm just this is my skill level with blocks right now. I'm somewhere in between cubes and LyfeForce. So I'm just trying to learn how to make better shapes and how to not have 90 degrees in everything. So I just went through and just sort of shaped this out and added all of the turrets that I wanted on here. And I've got a lot of work to do. You see, there's just more work I got to do inside. I've got placeholder truss for warp drive. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking of for a tier 1 CV at level 10, level 12. Spawn it, get off the planet, go do my thing.
Yeah.
Then the second one is sort of the mid game. There was a build from Artemis Rogue for with like this industrial drill module on the front here, and I kind of like that concept. So I built a multi-purpose CV sort of around that, where I could go do my mining and my resource exploration. And then again, I'm experimenting with different block shapes. Not an expert, but I'm challenging myself to try to minimize the amount of 90-degree angles and flat surfaces, and just it's just the fun of building. Honestly, we're both creators, and there's a lot of creators watching this, and we just like to build things. So
Yeah,
that's what I'm doing here with that.
the creative sessions can just, I don't know, man. Sometimes it's like a time machine. You get in,
Yeah.
you think you're in for 30 minutes and it's like 4 hours later.
Yeah, I hear you. I get distracted, and I'll come in here and like, no, I want to redo something. No, I don't like this, and yeah, I totally agree. Then I have to do the texturing and coloring here, so I got a lot of work to do on this one. Final version might be radically different.
Yeah, you definitely look like you're getting out of the box here. There's I like a lot of these shapes. These are some really good form design going on.
Oh, thank you. I'm trying, and I'm pushing myself to be better. So I appreciate your feedback. Thank you for that. Most of my time has been spent converting, making POIs. So I need to spend more time, doing actual the player style and building ships for myself for the next playthrough.
Yeah. So looking at these builds here, is there like any particular sci-fi theme that inspires you, or?
Oh yeah, so since I was a kid, I've always enjoyed Star Wars and Star Trek. They were just like a gateway drug or a beginning to this sci-fi adventure. I mean, I enjoy movies, TV, books. Like recently, I enjoyed The Mandalorian and Andor. I liked Star Trek Picard. I loved going to see Guardians of the Galaxy in the theater. No spoilers. So yeah, I've enjoyed sci-fi my entire life. So I don't necessarily have a specific, brand or theme, if you will. I just take from everything that I've experienced in my life. I mean, when I was a kid, I'm dating myself here. I enjoyed watching Battlestar Galactica and Buck Rogers, and Tron was my favorite movie when I was a kid, the original 1982 version. So I've enjoyed sci-fi my whole life, and I'll draw from all of that, if you will.
um, any sort of the outlier sci-fi themes like Farscape or um, maybe Lex?
Oh yeah, I totally respect that, but I can't really think of any out there edge cases that might apply. But hey, the whole continuum of sci-fi, I'm all game.
Did you ever
Anything's game.
did you ever get into Babylon 5?
Oh yes, I love that show. Yep.
Yeah, it's definitely like there's a niche. Like I mean, I get some of the requests I get are from Babylon 5, and these people are pretty passionate about it. Scarly wants me to build Babylon 5, for example.
Oh, that would be cool. Love to see that. No pressure. Anyway, so the end game CV, my goal here was to test out all of the big weapon combinations that Vermilion has coming, and I wanted to design it so that I could put all the shield parts in there if I chose to. So this one is sort of, I want to be able to add all of the light, medium, heavy weapons. I want to be able to add all the shield parts if I can. I mean, I know we can't support that with the current restrictions right now, but I'm just designing it around having all those options available. And I was doing explosive testing here, and that's why some of the rooms where the shield parts are surrounded by hardened steel, because once one of these capacitors blew, the entire ship went up. So I got to work on that. I got to do some more resilience testing and then more shaping on this one.
Yeah.
Calling back to the Amadeus that we looked at, I implemented that blast door feature on here where if I flip a switch, the blast doors retract. So thank you, Kimberly, for inspiring me on the blast doors. Thought that was neat.
Oh yeah. I see what you got. Okay, yeah. Um, so which of these builds would be your favorite?
Right now, I get the starter one because I'm going to be using it as soon as possible, and I'm excited to spawn it in game once I'm done with it. And it's just light and agile, and most of my playthroughs have been starter to mid game. When I get to end game, that's usually when I don't know, you'll get distracted on something else or drop from the server, if you will. I have yet to do drone hunting and legacy work. I've been to the Decay Gate, and I've parked my ships in the great parking lot there on the one side. And I've been to the other side. I haven't made it all the way to the Dyson Sphere because I got wasted last time. So I haven't done a lot of the end game content, and I'm really excited to do that next time. Just go all the way and run through all the quests that Ravian and Vermilion have written for us, and just enjoy all that content and go all the way to the end. So I'm looking forward to that. But right now, my favorite is sort of the starter CVs, I guess.
Yeah. And do you have any old builds that maybe perhaps we shouldn't see, but we're going to see?
Oh God, I love that part of Move Airs is the first. I'm going to call it first builds. For
Yeah.
myself, I'm calling them trash builds. So yes, let me go behind my ships here and let's have some embarrassing builds. Let me spawn some stuff that I used to play around with. So this is the frog. And the frog, this is a CV, and I made this for fun.
I know
Yeah,
somebody. I know somebody who would like this.
it's a frog.
I know, I know
For the
somebody who would
doors
like this, man.
open.
I know two people who would like this. I could name Kletzeroni, and then I could also name Monty Mantis. This,
Thank you guys if you like this. It was just for fun and for laughs. So yeah, this is the frog, a CV for hauling stuff around.
yeah. So let's have a look on the inside, man. It's
Oh, some of the blocks are missing. This is old, so some of the stuff may have changed over time. So yeah, a hangar with automatic doors to open up, and
okay.
then just everything crammed in here, ridiculous. And then there's a cockpit up an eye, and I think in each eye.
Okay. No,
Yeah.
this is great, man. Like, you know, this is less box than my first build was.
Thank you. What else do I got? I got some more embarrassing builds here.
Hold on. Before we move
Oh yeah,
on
yeah.
here, you got a
Sure.
you got a debug gun on you?
Do I have a debug? I can get a debug gun.
Uh,
What are you thinking?
you know, maybe you just do the honors and shoot in this warp drive. I'm curious how that plays out.
I think we have to change the faction on here. don't we?
Oh, yeah, true. Wow.
So let me see
Let's
here.
see here. Come on, man.
Faction, entity,
Assault rifle. Should be able to pop this thing.
entity, Xerax, 14003. Okay, so now it's changed to Xerax. So now if we shoot the, you want to have the honors?
No. This is you. This is.
You take out the warp drive? Oh, that's a dead frog.
No, that's good, man.
Cleared the whole thing.
So this taught me a valuable lesson: is not to build with plastic and also to break up your components. Yeah,
Yep.
I learned that in drone space the hard way.
Good point. Yep.
Okay, what else you got for us?
What else do I got? This is my first CV. We're going back to the cube. This is the lunchbox. It was my first CV, and I crammed everything in here. And then I just so everything is crammed inside. You sit in the pilot seat, and the pitch, yaw, and roll is insane on this thing. But hey, this was my first CV, so hey, I started here too.
Ooh. Are we cooking ourselves here? Let's see what we get.
Probably.
Let's see. Are we good? No, I think we're good, man. You might have done that quality assurance. I don't think we're burning ourselves. Pretty good. Oh, okay. Well, if we get too close to the medical station,
We just stay in these little areas, and you're fine.
yeah, that's often one of the biggest overlooked things when people are generating their first builds is don't cook yourself, right?
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, that's the lunchbox, named after one of my friend's vans that we would drive around in and go to parties in. The lunchbox.
This is great, man. It's super efficient.
Thank you.
Let me get this thing a spin. Let's see about some agility here. Oh yeah, this is feeling. Oh yeah, look at that. That's great. I think it's like an SV.
Thank you.
All right, what else you got for us?
Let's see here. We've got the cheeseburger, which is another little silly build that I built for fun. Looks like a cheeseburger. Some of the blocks don't work. Again, this is old, but yeah, this is just me having fun, making silly stuff. Oh, the blocks that don't work are medium thrusters or large thrusters. They don't exist anymore. So I guess this one's not flying. Bummer. First time I spawned this in game, it got utterly destroyed. So I said, rest in peace, cheeseburger. Flew it for like 10, 15 minutes. Never flew it again.
There's something about this that I don't like. Can't put my finger on it.
Maybe you're hungry and you need a cheeseburger?
That's it. No, it's the something. I don't know. It's like a charm. Like, you know, it's one thing to build like these beautiful builds, but there's also like there's like a I don't know, there's builds that are magical in like a cuteness factor or a charm
Mm,
factor or something.
yeah, yeah.
I can't quite put my finger on it, but there's something about that. Like, and so this kind of rings to me. Like, if I were to think about something like that in my build category, I could only think of like the Bush Ranger, you know,
Oh yeah,
something
love that.
like the particular appeal. Like some builds are just magical in that way, you know.
I agree. I was a little sad when the cheeseburger died because I loved it a little. I hear you.
Nice. Um, is there anything else for you to?
One more thing that I
Yeah.
thought was funny. There's a story behind this. So here is the false idol.
Oh, oh, that's just
So
awesome, man. What?
during the pandemic, I got really into tiki culture, tiki drinks, tiki conventions, and my nickname with my friends is C. So that's where Teakeycee came from, if you will. And then one of the drinks is a false idol. And of course, at tiki bars, you'll see a bunch of these sort of kind of heads. So I built this. If you're looking back, this is actually a dock for one of my ships. And I spawned it on Spange's server many playthroughs ago, right outside the decay gate, so that when he came through the gate, this is what he saw. So I had the face facing the gate, if you will. So I got a laugh out of that.
This is great, man. I like this. Oh, okay, no, this is carpet. That's pretty slick because it stops the reflection. Yeah. No, this is great block work, man.
I had fun building it. Thank you.
Very good at relaying like three-dimensional geometry there, like the eyes. Yeah, something about that. Let's see. Is that like a different? It kind of looks like it's like two different tones of light, but it's not even that. It's just like reflecting off the back, so it kind of
Yeah, red glowy with white glowy behind it.
yeah.
Yep. I was watching Spange's playthrough on his YouTube videos, and he was getting to the point where he's getting to the decay gate. So I'm like, crap. So I had to rush, make this, get it spawned in game, and get it placed. So it was a lot of fun. So thank you, Spange, for humoring me there. Love that.
So you have a challenge for me. Is that right?
Well, I think you and I should have that collaboration stream and convert one of your builds and submit it to Elion.
Yeah, there's that. But I was thinking there's some mention about a royal temple.
The Royal Temple, my first POI. For that, we're going to have to shut down the server and restart it. So let's do that, and we'll get in there and we'll run that POI.
Oh, I was thinking we might just have a gander of it and I'll
Oh,
run it on a separate record.
oh, you got it. So let me spawn it and let's talk about it. The Royal Temple is my first POI. It's on the Steam Workshop, and it is ridiculous, but here it is. You might want to give it a second to spawn.
Oh yeah. Jeez.
Yeah, size class 50 and all the spawns in it, it causes severe lag. The build is impractical, but it was a lot of fun to make this and run through it.
Is it a kill box?
No, I
Uh,
don't think so. Well,
yeah.
that's according to my standard, I guess. I like a challenge.
You said this is your first one.
This, yeah, I go big or go home.
You know, some people they, you know, maybe start a little small, 50 blocks.
Yeah,
This
I
is
got carried away.
I'm surprised like so that's one of the things is some with the builders if they start a big project and they can't complete it. A lot of people get burnt out with that and they move on from Empyrion because they overbite, right?
Right, I just kept chipping away at this over time. Had an idea of a temple where like a rogue faction of the Xerax were conducting experiments. In this room, they're experimenting on something. What are they experimenting on? What's the story here? And then as you go deeper into the POI, you start to see some cool and terrifying things.
Spoilers. Wow, that's awesome, man.
Thank you.
First POI. I
Humble brag.
think maybe like, a farm or some sort of, oxygen hub. No. Look
So
at this
big.
thing. Yeah, that's right, man. All right. Is there any parting words for us? Anything else or anything that we're missing here? What is this?
So thank you so much for this opportunity, and to all the players out there, create at least one POI or orbital patrol vessel. Try it at least once. You might like it. And I encourage everyone to sign up for your Patreon. Full disclosure, I have supported you on Patreon for a while now. Thank you for everything that you do. You're a pillar of the community. I appreciate you.
Okay, yeah, checks in the mail.
So, final thoughts. Our community is fascinating. We have players that enjoy playing the game. We have builders, content creators. We've got Anvil. We've got Spange. We've got HWS community, scenario designers. We even got groups of people that volunteer to work behind the scenes and create content for the game. Wink, wink. So the long story short, we have a community of people that enjoy playing the game in different ways, and that's part of what makes this game and our community unique. We all enjoy it in our own way. I mean, I spent about $20 on this game 3 or 4 years ago, and I got over 4,000 hours of fun so far, and that's value right there.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I never would have imagined me sinking so much time and effort into a single game like this. Just it's crazy. So did you do? I guess I should ask. Like, have you done any other builder games?
Valheim and Satisfactory. I've fallen into a rabbit hole over there and spent a lot of time on both of those games. At one point, I was just in this triangle of Valheim, Satisfactory, Empyrion. Valheim, and I keep going back and forth. So yes, to answer your question, a different style, if you will, but similar in some aspects.
Yeah.
No, you mentioned to me once that I was like the Bob Ross of POI design because of my voice in the video. So I love that. It's stuck in my head. So now when I'm designing POIs, I'm thinking to myself, happy little sentries. Paint them white. So very, very kind of you. Bob Ross is a legend, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's a definitely a good representation. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Teakeycee.
Thank you for the opportunity. It's been an honor and a privilege to talk to you today. I appreciate it.
Thank you, man. All right, folks, that's it. Thank y'all for tuning in. Until next time, LyfeForce out. All right, so now we're having a look at Teakeycee shooting a crossbow. Beautiful. Yeah, so what are we looking at here? We have some custom weapons.
Yeah, this is the Phoenix Starworks Imperial Bowcaster, and if you look very closely, you'll see the LyfeForce logo on it. This is a custom weapon that I made for you. Hashtag Empire did nothing wrong.
They didn't. Don't get me started.
So yeah, I've been learning how to make custom weapons as I have a testing scenario that I use to test all the POIs and OPVs that I've been converting and the new POIs that I'm making. I had to create a test scenario. So along the way, I've been learning about, okay, how does this file work and how does that file work? So I've been learning things about scenario design just to figure out, how things work in the background. I don't have any plans on releasing a scenario, but this is just me learning about the inner workings of Empyrion. And along the way, hey, why not make some fun weapons?
A lot of interesting weapons here.
Oh yeah, all of the white weapons. These are just placeholder icons I put on here, and this is just me making up stuff. Like the stats on these are copied from Vanilla and Reforged Eden weapons, and I just made some clever names and clever, descriptions. Oh, that's the Raccoona one. Yep, I like that one.
That sounds beastly. So you seem to have a thing for cheeseburgers.
Oh yeah, the placeholder icons. I was asking in chat how to make the icons in Discord, and I remember Vermilion responded, so I made a custom icon of a purple cheeseburger, and I called it Vermilion's cheeseburger. It's purple because it's epic, and yeah, I got a good response from that. So the purple cheeseburger is my testing icon.
Yeah. Buckshot bath. Baptize the corruption in a shower of buckshot.
The corruption is what I was thinking of for a hostile or the antagonist in this scenario. Because I'm also learning how to make quests and how to do dialogue.
Stellar Corona. So going back earlier about ideas about faction, is that something you wanted to elaborate on a little bit, or do you want to keep that a secret?
Well, it's it's a work in progress. It's kind of like ideas in my head that I haven't really fleshed out and written a story or a plot line around right now. So I'm honestly, I don't have anything to offer right now because I just have ideas written on a scratch piece of paper of factions that I'm thinking of doing, if you will. So more to come on that. How about that?
Oh, a plurality, not one singular faction, huh?
Yes. Multiple. Yep.
All right. Is there anything else you'd like to show us while we're here?
This is just my testing scenario, and people that watch my YouTube videos will see the testing scenario pop up once in a while, and they'll see all these custom weapons that I've designed when I'm doing quality assurance on the run-throughs for all the POIs. So yeah, this is where it comes from. You're looking behind the scenes here. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun learning all about Empyrion, how it works behind the scenes, creating new stuff, and just my goal is to help make new things and new experiences for players to enjoy.
Awesome. Nice. All right. Any parting words?
Thank you so much again for this opportunity. I really appreciate it, and aloha to everyone. I will talk to you all soon.
Okay. Thank you for this look behind the scenes. All right. That's it, folks. Thank y'all for tuning in. Until next time, LyfeForce out again. Ladies and gentlemen, about to go take a shot at Teakeycee's POI. So I'm gonna be going in with Stag. Stag's fully loaded. It's Courtyard. Teakeycee's POI Courtyard probably won't stand a chance against it, but we'll see. I'll be coming in strong with a progenitor shield and all the nasties that I can on this thing. So we'll clear the courtyard, and once we get that done, we're gonna start descending and see what his POI is all about. Now this is a POI that is 2 years old, I think. I think this is his first POI, so we'll take a look at it, give it some love. All right, let's go have it. It's raised above ground because I'm a scrub when it comes to POIs, and I have no idea how to set that into the ground and all that sort of thing, so you'll have to forgive me. Yeah, it looks like he's set the turrets up to have pretty good overlapping fire here, and these turrets on the corner. Looks like they would support each other. Pretty good. Oh wow. That's pretty cool. Took that thing down. I want to see that again. That's pretty sweet. It's putting up a pretty good fight, despite the fact that I have progenitor shield, so it is forcing a back off. Oops. Oh, we got turrets still. Alright, a bunch of nasty little turrets here, so clarity is off. Okay, I think we're good to land. Maybe? The troops. Yeah, it's troops, a bunch of troops. Okay. Here we go. Get this guy real quick. Deploy the Panther Pod. A lot of nasties around here. I can hear them. Okay, respawn is active. And what's up with that? Come on, dude. I did a lot of Q&A to get that fixed. There should be no reason I'm getting kicked out of that. That is so lame. Not allowed. I love miniguns. Alright, I'll be a little cheesy here, take advantage of our pod situation and pop off every now and then. That's just not allowed. How do I get in here? Okay, here we go. Okay, so it looks like... Okay, the shield is back up. Is that right? Alright, we gotta get the shield down. Permanently. Set it there. Okay, that's the shield right there. That is cool, man. That debris falling, I don't know. I don't see that too often, and just that is so cool. Anyways, see if I can take that whole structure down, but I'll let it ride. All right, back to business. Okay, nothing in here. All vehicles subject to search. Look at this guy. Look in the guard shack. Bob and weave there behind that half block. Look, fella. Teakeycee might have a fat chance of getting me killed, man. I'm in here fully getting. Oh, I'm saying this guy's not paying attention. I'm in here fully kitted and heavy armor. 4 epic mods. Fully loaded ship. I don't know if he's gonna have Snowball's chance in hell of cleaning my clock today. We'll see. Okay, it's a trap and a optional door there. Very well. Oh shit. Now if you spam shotgunners, maybe. Not allowed. Oh, dirty. Well, you know, gotta break a couple eggs. It happens. Sorry about that, sirs. I hope these weren't your friends here. No, my apologies for real. Okay. Where is... Ooh. having a look around here. Don't mind me. What are you guys doing back here? Alleyway, what's up? What's up, man? What y'all doing? Got some shady stuff going on. That's a pretty cool little setup here. Alien experimentation. Incinerate, yes or no? Like, it's some sort of game. Just like randomly walk up to a terminal and aliens spawn in. You can press a button. Oh, is it my turn? My turn to incinerate. Sorry about that, guy. Just smoked that NPC back there. Ooh, container, eh? Oh shit, they got a little trap, huh? Or is it just one that I missed? This is a big complex, man. I'm not sure. Goes to the bathroom. Goes to the bathroom with a gun and full of camo. It's called a hostile work environment. Oh, shotguns. Okay. Close there. Very close. Nearly, sir. Nearly. Now that is a fully loaded fridge. Got shooting up my vehicle. Okay, just chilling. We got a cafeteria here. Actually grow the plants on site. That's like the next level of freshness. You can just see the crops growing in progress and food's being converted right on the spot. Good stuff. Uh oh, what we got here? Ooh. I could see that if I had come in standard armor, maybe I don't have some epic boosters, then I'm already dead. Or if I'm just, like, typically lazy that I am and don't repair my armor, yeah. That'd also be a thing. Alright, that's what it is. Stag is providing cover fire into this courtyard here. Nothing going on here. It's like a vehicle maintenance area. You park the vehicle up and crawl underneath it. Changing the oil. Can we do that? Can I get a free oil change? Can I get an oil change for Stag? That's got to be a thing, man. Come on. Pop up here, see if I can get this oil changed 5 minutes or less. It should be good for it. 5 minutes, right? I think it's like right now, a guy walks up and offers you a free drink while you wait. That's usually how it works at 5 Minute Express. But I'm gonna get out and go, I'm gonna go shoot your base crew. Rather than take you up on that offer for a drink, I'm gonna go shoot your crewmen up, and when I come back, hopefully, if you don't mind, sir, hopefully, just get the oil change. Probably need to check the air filter in the cabin too. That's also a thing. I'll be back. Ooh, shut the elevator out. Imagine it if these guys could shoot down. Would be in a shoot down and shoot up, like when we're working these elevators. We wouldn't know what to do. If like there was a patch all of a sudden these guys could aim down. Like that would be just the biggest game changing thing. It would be hilarious if Elion did that and they didn't announce it. And just like everybody would be discovering it live. Just be chilling, you know, server white, fresh start, going to a POI, you work in elevators. Boom. Shotgun to the face, you never expected it. Oh, nasty back spawns, man. That's so lame. I'm so cocky with this too that I don't have any backup gear. Should be able to drone there, though. Oh my goodness! What the hell, dude? Look at all that. I'm just gonna be chilling, waiting on that oil change here, dude. That is, I did go that way, didn't I? Alright. We gotta take this POI seriously. Just hang tight, brother. I just need to get my backpack, that's all. How can I carry less than what I went in with? It doesn't make it. Okay, well, alright. So, This is a serious POI, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to end this man's POI building career. Get to this core. Volume 12,000. Oh, I got... Oh, where was that? Not sure how the hell that happened. Left over from creative somehow. Didn't think I had that in my inventory. Give me the heals. Come on. Teakeycee. Teakeycee with the back spawns. Start clapping these. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, start taking out these spawn pads. Just in case I'm forced to do another walk of shame. Temple is under attack. You damn straight, man. It's under assault. It's not under attack. Get that big fine bird out there. Getting an oil change right now. That was lame. Where did it even come from? Shield. Shield override. This is where the shield was. And I blew this up. Okay, yeah. Whoa. Assuming this is the way to go. Now I'm paranoid. Oh, not today, sir. Not today. A little spider trap or something. I get it. So it looks like we're started this way already. That's coming back from the trap. That's what that is. Oh. Oh. Yeah, I think we've done this bit already. Okay, alright, so... I think this is the way forward here. We'll just go this way. Or did we come this way? Yeah, this is where I killed this dude's friends. Maybe this way. This looks legit. Alright. Oh yeah, this is legit alright. Mm-hmm. I might have to swing by Stag. I left all my singles on there. What? A dancing robot? I've never seen that. Is that a thing? And it can walk through walls. I may have not brought enough singles. Might have to go to ATM. Oh, wow. Alright. Hello, ladies. Yeah, just scoping things out. Everything's looking top heavy. I mean tip-top shape here. We're good. Just gonna grab some nothing out of the barrel. Just gonna grab nothing. That's it. Yeah, well, you don't happen to know where ATM is, huh? Alright, well, I'll talk to y'all later. LyfeForce out. Oh, what is going on? Like, co-ed bathroom trips here with... There's four, there's like 3 or 4 of them in the crapper, man. Say hello to my little friend. What? Dude, Teakeycee, what are you doing, man? You got all these dudes up in the crapper. What is this about? You got some freak show stuff going on. You got dancing robots that travel through walls, and you got dudes fully armed, 6 and 7 deep inside of toilets. Hey. uh, hey, where did that robot go? I hear footsteps maybe this way. Maybe we haven't been this way. Ah, look at this. Ooh. Shotgun on the side. Or sniper. Alright, let's see. How do we get back to... I don't even want to step out on this courtyard. It's just going to be nasty. Oh, these guys are... Oh, man. Like I said, dude, the courtyard, I figured this thing would be a mess. A hot mess, and it is that. Alright. Banthopod. Where is my corpse? Might have to take a stag over there just to get access to it. Nice little gradient leading up here. Gotta go fly a SV just to get to my corpse, man. Getting in the courtyard, not so much a problem. The extended core build, right, that's easy, but now getting inside of the base, that's something else entirely. I'm going down here again. There's got to be a way through. Oh, what's this? I think we might be on to something. A lot of hate up here. Look at this guy. What timing? Alright, Teakeycee. Yeah, so we've already been this way, right? Yeah. It's a commander. Maybe we need to go down here. Let's look on the other side first. Probably gonna be the same thing, a trap over here somewhere. No? Oh, looks alright, so we might be onto something. Maybe. Oh, yeah. Let's have a look-see down here. No, nothing. Just some jerk here, a couple jerks. Yeah, I like the deco work here for the. Let's look at that. It's pretty slick, dude. Hover engine. Um, yeah, okay, well, tour's over. There's got to be a way forward in here. I don't even know where this invisible did. What a jerk. Gonna shoot at me on my way out, right? It'll be like that. Ah! Dude, where is the end of this thing? Where do I go? You're killing me. All right. Yeah. What is that? What is it? Since okay, you actually got that rigged up. Oh, got a door here. Nothing going on. I missed something. Is it something only accessible from the other side? Okay, that just leads out. Of course. You know, like, why did I not think of this? Right. Okay, well that did nothing. Upside down plants. Alright. Okay. Nothing here. Well, let's just, let's double back. I may not have enough ammo for all of this. Interesting. May not have enough ammo, but I've got enough ammo for this. If it wants to do anything. Does it not want to blow up? I'd have to IM in some ammo. Oh, that's 3. Need to spawn in with the knife. I think that's what needs to happen. Because we can't just be walking around naked all the time. Now, if we had a knife, that would be pretty sweet. Or potentially melee weapons coming. What's up with this? This is the way it came, huh? Yeah, okay. Let's just have a look around here. Hey, none of the ammo that I need. Pretty sure I looked at that. Oh. We definitely have been looting these guys because they drop laser cells, right? Actually, I have ammo for this. I have ammo for this on the ship. Some sort of display bug, I guess. Oh, actually, the thermal burn. I could use up that emergency pack for a thermal burn. Not allowed. Is that? That might be the core. Oh, oh man. This is where I need weapon or ammo for the rifle. Oh, dude. Okay. Can't do this with a minigun. Oh no. No, that's not gonna happen. I'm gonna have to cheese a little bit. Don't mind me. I got that one. I'll find out. Okay. Just a display bug. It's a wide open area. I don't have a good feeling about this. Bunch of jerks. Oh, what? What is that? What? Died? Oh, I did a. Must have been bleeding. Wasn't paying attention. Oh goodness, I got tunnel vision. All right, that's the core room. Let's go ahead and end this thing. What? 4 deaths. Spent the whole night here. It's daytime already. Where was that? Was that here? May she live forever. May she live forever. Hmm. I like this hall. That tall slope leading in. It looks pretty cool. Seems like it'd be something out of like Aliens. Maybe something for the engineer species or something. It's not a core? What? It was a fake out, dude. The symbol looks like a core. Oh man, that is dirty. Dude, I'm like 2 hours into this thing. Get out of here. No. How do I end this? Not allowed. This is a good setup to look like a damn core room. It's pretty slick. Give me what you got in this fridge. Oh my goodness, look at all this. Takes me so long. I go for the fruit pie. I got a pizza here. Pizza's probably pineapple, so that's good. Okay, so probably going the other way, the opposite side of this thing. I think over here. I would say over here is potentially going to be the way forward. I can't believe it. It looks like a damn core. Like a faux furnace there. That's pretty good. Last door override 1 of 2, so there's another one. That must be the blast doors behind that fake core room. So presumably back on the opposite side of this. Come on, get around the damn corner. Hey guy, what's up? Yeah, I guess there's must be some sort of must be an override over here somewhere. Whoa! What the hell? That damn laser. Okay, that's Death 5. Elite Plasma Xerax. I hate those guys. I don't know if I hate them worse than rockets, though. POI is brutal. Not on a level of, say, you know, something like Sector Commands, but it's got its traps. Its annoyances. Hey, at least the hallways are tall enough to spawn a drone. It's very considerate. Oh, dude, what a jerk. Commanders can take a hit. Tough guys. Gotta be a switch over here somewhere, right? Surely. Okay, good. All right. All right. Let's let's potentially end this damn thing. Guess maybe I should have checked, like, could I have gone in with just opening one? Or did I need both switches? Okay, before we do that, let's check the bachelor pad. Interesting. Still know about these bathrooms, man. We know what Teakeycee. Oh my goodness. Well, there's loot. Okay. Have I missed this thing? Where is it? Where's this core at? Where's this core? It's gonna drive me insane. I can't do this. Alright. This is, I think hitting the point of aggravation. This is like 2 hours so far. I think Teakeycee's got me on this. Ah, it looks like a core. That's so good. This guy set me up. He set me up. Alright, I'm gonna throw in the towel on this one. I could be around here all day looking for these things. There's a lot more to do. Yeah, you know, it's like any other POI, and once you figure it out, it's not so much of a hassle. But right now, it's whooping me. It's a big POI. I probably walked by wherever I needed to go a couple times, but right now it's going on for quite a while. I'm throwing the towel. Teakeycee, I guess now known as Sneakeycee, with some of these back spawns and guys spawning in 8 to 10 deep in bathrooms. Yeah, he's got me on this round, so that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, I surrender, man. If I had a flag to throw out, I would, but that's it. This is the Royal Temple by Teakeycee. I'll catch y'all next time. LyfeForce out. Hello, folks. If you enjoy my content, if you enjoy my builds, please consider becoming a patron today. As a patron, you get access to custom builds of release works, early access to some builds before they hit the workshop, exclusive builds. You also gain access to direct feedback and engagement through polls, idea suggestions regarding builds before and after workshop release. If this interests you, please check out the pinned comment below. Thank you.